The Ford Focus is an amazingly successful car. Since 1998, Ford has shifted over 4 million of them. It's been Car of the Year on both sides of the Atlantic, and it's won no less than 75 other car awards. Oh, and it's also been Britain's best-selling car for the last 6 years. And for good reason. Its sharp, wedgy profile still looks fresh, it's always been good value, and above all else, it's what it was when it was launched all those years ago. Great fun to drive. But you can't stand still in the volume car game, and now it's time for the new Focus. And this is it. And at first glance, it looks as if Ford have played it safe. It's a sort of softer, more bloated version of the original styling themes. But compared with the old car, well, it looks a bit boring. But more of that later. The big question is it as fun to drive? Now, Ford's rivals have recently smartened up their act. The Astra and the Golf are now much sharper to drive. I've just recently driven the much more expensive but similar-sized BMW 1 Series, and that really is a great drive. And I have to say, with the same size 2-litre diesel engine, the new Focus is nearly as good. Everything works well. The seating position is just right, the gear change is smooth and slick, the car's very easy to drive. The steering wheel, you've got 3 different modes. You've got Comfort, Standard and Sports in terms of the weighting. That can be selected on the dashboard menu. And the answer to the big question, is it as good to drive as the old one, is a resounding yes. In fact, it's better. The chassis is sharper whilst being more compliant over bumpy roads, the cabin is quieter, and the new electronic power steering gives you all the feedback you need. But Ford haven't only made their bestseller better to drive, they've also managed to improve on some of the old car's weak points. The old Focus was a visual catastrophe inside with its cheap plastics and oddball layout. I'm pleased to say the new version uses a more conventional design, better quality materials, and has a much more luxurious feel. Nothing feels clumsy anymore. In fact, it's now easily on a par with, say, the new Golf. So what about those looks? Well, initially I thought it was a tad boring, but having spent a day with the car, it's kind of grown on me. But I'll tell you what the upshot is. It's a great package. It's comfortable, it's very well refined, it drives well, but more importantly, it's going to be great value for money, and that's why you're going to see thousands on the road.